Claudia Christian.
Hello. Oh boy, is that too much? Is this too much? Talking about blood drives. How you guys doing today? Yeah? Woo-hoo! Ow! Party on, dude! What's the best thing you've done so far? Oh, all right, you can all come home with me. So, I like to pace a little bit. I'm probably going to get all, this is a very strange setup. Yesterday I felt I was in therapy. Today I just feel like I'm sick. But anyway, that's the Chicago weather here. Also, I want to know who the woman was who made me those brownies. My little sister almost puked her guts out last night. Thank you very much. A lovely time was had by all, thanks to you. Anyway, let's get right into the questions, because that'll give me lots of things to say. Don't be shy. Kiera. Yes, sir.
You probably get a lot of this. I'm sorry. But what are the differences between working with Michael O'Hare and Bruce Boxleitner?
Steven, do you want to answer that one? That's right, I'm alone. Let me think about this. Okay, the difference between working with Michael O'Hare. You ever have a migraine? It's like a compare a migraine to just a slight headache. No, I'm kidding. God, come on, that's my sense of humor. What little there is of it. Okay, Michael O'Hare had a different style of acting. It was very intense. There was a very serious mood on the set. He had a certain problem, with levity. Enjoyed the lack of. I can't sit down. So Bruce brings a lot of joy and happiness to the set. He's the kind of guy that, I don't know who was here yesterday when I was with Richard, but we're going. So anyway, I was in action. And O'Hara would be like, "Shut up! Shut up!" I'm sorry. Back row, he's like, and Bruce is more like, he's the one that I'm like, shut up! Because Bruce is like, look, you see the ball game? What about that? He's always talking politics, and he and Jerry just get on these rampages, where all of a sudden they just go, well, what do you mean, Clinton? They're both staunch Republicans, thank you very much. Yeah, which really helps with the liberal Democrat over here. I'm like, yeah, food for the homeless. Next question. Well, thanks. It was nice talking to you.
Oh, come back!
All right, I'll stay for one more. What the hell?
I'd like to know if there's anything.
Oh, over here. I just wanted to say I love you more than my mother.
Oh, your poor mom. You're the OJ man. You asked the OJ question yesterday. Well, let me tell you a few things about what I know. All right, don't ask me a hard question.
With the success of NYPD Blue and partial nudity in the language, any chance of nude scenes on faire?
It's starting early. Mallory, shut your ears. My little sister's in the audience. Actually, I'm all for it. I think it'd be fabulous. And if Jakar is willing to get naked, I'll be right there with him. God knows I've been checking out that cod piece for 4 years. I want to know what's under it. Hey, what the hell, I did a nude scene, but it was, kind of cut down. I was naked in the observation dome. Another one of Joe's polite little ways of telling Claudia to don't ask for anything. Joe, come on, lighten it up a little. I got all these dream sequences. Make one funny. Ivana was naked in the observation dome. choice. He says, well, you can wear a nightgown if you want. Oh, that's funny. I mean, the whole point of it is you're dreaming you're naked at work, right? I'm going to say, well, I'll put on the flannel number. That'll be amusing. Besides, I get enough letters from fans saying, why are you always in nightwear? Like 9 scenes of me in little, satin nightgowns. It's like, yeah, I guess that's the only TNA we have on our show. Anyway. Yes?
Have you considered, or would you consider doing a guest appearance in something other show that was science fiction or fantasy?
I think I would be drawn and quartered if I did that. I think it's probably a better idea to stick to a different genre if I'm going to go outside of it. But, I'm pretty loyal to Babylon 5 at this point. I mean, unless they paid me an extraordinary amount of money, of course, I'd do anything. Snuff film, horns, whatever. I mean, I don't care, basically. Everyone has a price. Mine's high, but, it's... yes.
In the same vein, before Babylon 5, what was it like kissing Scott Bakula?
Actually, the best kisser I ever kissed was Sam Elliott. That was... Man, he was... and his wife was on the set, and I kept screwing up the take so I could kiss him again. I'm 19, I'm thinking, this isn't obvious, Oops, I forgot the line again. I'm sorry, Sam, I guess we're gonna do it again. Yeah, and the wife was like, I'm sorry, Mrs. Elliott. Anyway, that was interesting. Scott was a real gentleman and fun to kiss, too. That show was really fun to work on, actually, Quantum Leap, because I got to wear all those dresses where I couldn't sit down, and they had a slant board to lean me up against. It was most uncomfortable. Now you know I like Ivanova. It's like, sensible shoes, So much easier.
I'm one of the 10 people in the United States that saw Hexed in a movie theater. And it was wonderful and on the big screen. And I know everybody else I've talked to said, oh yeah, I saw it on HBO or something. And I've been trying to convince them that it's a big screen movie. You look like you've got legs up to here. And it's a wonderful, funny, and you are just outlandishly, over the top, cynically, wonderfully funny.
Change.
Okay, two questions then. Is there any hope of bringing Hex back to the big screen, and if so, how? And the other is, are you looking for, I hope, opportunities to let this comedy angle that you do so nastily and so well out? Because you're really good at that. Really.
How long is this question going to be? I'm kidding. As you all know, I'm a very serious, dedicated professional. I find it very difficult to be humorous at times. I like to take things in a very black and white perspective. Now, I do enjoy doing comedy a lot, but I haven't really had the opportunity. So, I've done a few comedic roles, and that's been very fulfilling to me. I would love, like, any of Robin Williams' rejects, anything that he doesn't take, I'll do it, but, that's the nature of the business. I'll pursue that later on, when B5 is done. I might be 60 going, Captain, on my way! 70 or 80, that wasn't very fair. 60 is not very old. All right. My mother would kill me. Anyway, your other part of the question was Hexed. I seriously doubt that film cost about $1.50 to make, and I think it made about $1.30. So, I never saw my 1 point back end. Put it that way. Profits? Right. So that kind of put my future film career on hold for a while. My first big studio picture. 10 people saw it. She was one of them. Actually, my family saw it. They paid to see it. Pity the poor fools. Anyway, let's hope that somebody else gives me a chance someday. Yes, sir.
You mentioned yesterday something about work you do in Scotland or with Scots. Care to elaborate on that?
Aye, lad. You see, I've got this great group called Clan McStaggers. And I'll have our own names. I'm Trouble McStagger. I used to be Muffin McStagger, but somebody decided that I was more trouble than anything else. And we're a group of friends, and we go to these Renaissance fairs, and we do recreation stuff, and we're geeks in kilts. That's basically what we are. We are all dressed as 12th century Highlanders, and I've just got my first wench outfit, actually. I've been a boy for the entire McStagger clan rule, but I decided to be a woman this year. So that was the first year. I had cleavage, let me tell you, those things boost you. It was shocking, but it's more fun to wear kilt because you don't have to wear underwear. It's called regimental. It's great. And then they have these things called kilt checks. It's a really nasty experience. You guys wouldn't want to do it. Anyway, next question before I get kicked out of here. Yes.
Really enjoyed your performance in Hour of the Wolf when you thought that the captain was dead. Now, with all the levity on the set, was that hard to do that scene so seriously?
The crying scenes aren't difficult for me. I'm kind of known as like you know, Bucket's Claudia Christian. You know. In fact, it's gotten to the point where they take it for such granted. I'm basically a trained SEAL. They say, hey Claudia, could you do that kind of tearing, you know, where you get it up in one eye and you just hold it there, and then right when you blink at the last line, it falls one tear? And I say, left or right? I literally have it down. I mean, it's not that I'm not feeling it, because I certainly am. When it's something well written like Joe does, it's very easy to respond to the material. But believe me, there's been times in my life where I remember the series I did called Behringers back in like '83. You know, the big shoots on and the power hairdos, and I always had to cry over the stupidest things, like my husband didn't get a raise. I'm like, wow, shoot the vice president! You know, tears streaming down my face. You know, and Daddy said you'd be successful, you know, tears streaming down, and I thought this is the dumbest stuff to cry over. And so I would have to do my old, you know, and it just works. I don't know why. It's something that I'm pretty good at, crying. That's depressing. Okay, next question.
Now that Rick isn't here to defend himself, are there any good Rick Biggs stories? And second of all, I heard a rumor about something called the chicken story.
The what?
The chicken story.
The chicken story? Well, if you're talking about our caterer, Mario, 5 times a week we all have stomach problems, but other than that, I don't know. Chicken story, that must have not involved Claudia. Rick makes me sick, basically. Because the guy is like in perfect shape, you know, and he takes his makeup off in the trailer, he's like stripping his shirt off, you know, standing there with the washboard stomach, and, you know, Bruce, little, you know, 45-year-old bulge there, is going, you bastard. I, who haven't done my sit-ups in like 9 weeks, look at him and go, oh, you're such an ass. You are just too sexy for your pants. He's got the best body on Babylon 5, that's for damn sure. And Rick is just generally a really great guy. I've got no stories to tell. I wish I could. You know, he's terrific. And besides, we can't hear each other, so I don't know if he's funny or not. We're both deaf, so I don't know what he's saying half the time. And there's his girlfriend. Like I said, I'll be going now. Thank you, lady. I'm just gonna stand over here for the rest of it. Bye-bye. I bet. I'm quiet and demure. I've heard that before. You're not the first one to say it. Graceful and quiet, yes.
I have a question.
Thank God.
About I love the sort of animosity friendship thing between Ivanova and Marcus. How much of that is you, this is sort of a 2-part question, you know, allowed to do your sort of natural humor thing, and how much is scripted? And are you allowed to sort of add your own little bits of personality at all?
Personality, yes. I mean, Joe observed my antics, and I think Ivanova kind of softened up after that. She became a little less pull up the posterior, as some of you fans so kindly put it on the net. Why does she not pull up her butt? Why doesn't she take her hair down more often? Well, I'm not the hairdresser. You can forward all your questions to her. Besides, I like Peanut Head, you know? before he says, hi! Come on, just do it, you know? It's like I love Laurence Olivier's story with on Marathon Man. You know, Dustin Hoffman. I'm supposed to be tired. How am I supposed to? He stayed up for like 3 days and he was exhausted. He said, I just really want to be in the scene in the moment. And Laurence Olivier said, why don't you just try acting? Like, right on, baby. Yeah, that's my attitude. But Jason, I don't know how far it's going to go, that whole relationship. I don't know. It's kind of this unrequited love. And besides, he's a virgin. I want somebody experienced, you bet. I mean, what am I going to do? Teach him? I mean, yeah, that's no fun. Anyway, virgins line up on the well, okay, one or two. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes.
Well, in the context of the conversation, I don't know if you can find one of these, but have you ever had a line that just, you look at this and go, God, this is awkward, how in God's name am I going to say this? Which, I don't know if that's possible for you, but we'll see.
I think if I would have had Pat Tallman's line,